Good morning, everybody. This is your boy D Max. So let's talk. All right. So y'all see the topic. Oftentimes we will argue points and we will state how things should happen and how things should take place based on living in a perfect world in which we do not live. And even though some people have this understanding that we do not live in a perfect world, they still speak as though things should happen in a utopic way. And everything's supposed to go as the plan, and there's not going to be any injustice, and there's not going to be any discrepancies. And these are along the lines that they will try to explain their point. And I often let them know or give them the reminder that we do not live in a perfect world or a perfect country. So therefore, their point is very skewed. Yes, the Carolyn Bryan Dunham should go to jail. She should serve justice. But is she really? Where do we live? We live in the United States of America. Last time I checked, the United States of America was still predominantly ran by white men. And so those white men who did not hold those other white men accountable for killing Emmett Till are not going to hold Miss Bryant accountable for the lie that she told. Should we not fight just because the odds are against us? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you should go into the fight understanding what you're up against. And oftentimes we'll go in with righteous indignation and feel like it doesn't matter. And we're just blind and we're filled with emotional outrage and all of those things like that. And so we will negate the fact that we do not live in a perfect world, and things more than likely will not go in our way in certain situations. Because I've stated this time and time again that the conqueror of a place is never going to give you the equal billing that they have, them and their people. That's like if Genghis Khan was to come and conquer a land. Do you think he's going to give the people of that land the same type of treatment as he gives his own people who has invaded and taken over this place? No, he puts them under his rule, and everything that he states goes. And anybody that is from the Khan group is going to receive much better treatment than the people of that land, because they're still seen as enemies even after they're conquered. So, there's so many times that we say how things ought to go. This ought to go this way. It ought to go that way. And we will frustrate ourselves to death when they don't go that way, because we leave out the factor that we don't live in a perfect world. If we lived in a perfect world, George Zimmerman would have been brought to justice. If we lived in a perfect world, a lot of these black men who have been shot by police officers, killed by police officers, would still be alive. If we lived in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to worry about police brutality at all. If we lived in a perfect world, we wouldn't have to fight any of the battles that we fight on a regular basis. And if there was any perfect person, well, we would probably kill them like we did last time. So I'm going to tell you like this. Nothing is going to be perfect in this world. You're not going to always get your way. Things are not always going to pan out the way that you think they should. That's why the concept of a plan B, plan C, etc. is put in place, so that you don't put all of your eggs in one basket and be totally destroyed whenever that one way don't work. This is logic. It's simple logic. But logic and emotion do not mix at all. Logic, I'll say it again, logic and emotion does not mix at all. because your emotions are going to go against the facts. Your emotions are going to go against the information because you just feel this certain way, and your feelings will be based off of some personal experience in your life that was so intense and so traumatic that you just can't let that go. And you see things from that skewed view because it was such an intense event in your life. That's like, you know, I've been battling against PTSD for a long time. And, there's certain things that even though I tell myself time and time again, hey, this is not over there, this is not this is not that. But based on what I see, it sends up red flags and it triggers me from things that I experienced over there. And so I will act accordingly, even though my actions are not necessary. But I'm a better safe than sorry type of person. And so I would rather make sure instead of just leave it to chance, because I understand that, you know, these things will build up on you and build up on you to the point to where, you're so frustrated and you're so bitter at the world because you don't understand why it's not going the way it's supposed to. But I like to ask the question, has it ever went the way it's supposed to? Name me one time in this country where things have went perfectly according to plan with no problems at all. Name me one event. I can't think of any. And so when I think along these lines, I understand that things are going to fail. We're mankind, and our ideas are very fallible. Our ideas are filled with mistakes, and a lot of the things that we learn by is trial and error. And so, with that being the case, and we learn by trial and error, and we are prone to mistakes, then why do we always try to speak about things as if, you know, wow, why are they supposed? Why do we speak about things as if it's supposed to happen, and there's no way that this didn't happen because we live in this world that's so great? Come on, man. I think we give way too much credit to our government. We have unreal expectations of our government, and we set ourselves up for disappointment every single time. What's up, bro? How you doing this morning? Hey, I'm gonna catch you when I head back out. Cause when we stopped in Shreveport, it was like 6 o'clock in the morning, man. So, but yeah, I'm gonna definitely link up with you on my way out, man, and I'll hit you up. And but yeah, we have these unreal expectations of the United States, our government, and other people. And when those people don't meet those expectations, we get disappointed. But we have to go into each situation understanding that, it may not be the outcome that we're looking for, and these people may not respond in the way that we think they should respond. And we got to be okay with that and have a second plan in order to get what we need done. I get paid by the government every month for the rest of my life for my service to this country. But do I put all of my eggs in that one basket? No, I can't, because I don't know what this government is going through. And right now, the way the economy is looking and the poor decisions that they're making, who knows what's going to happen in the near future? Who knows if my next check is going? I don't know that. I'm basing that on the decisions that's made by our government. But I'm not going to allow my whole life to be placed in their hands. I'm going to make sure that I'm doing other things. So if that happens to go away for whatever reason, I still have something to fall back on. And I'm not relying solely on the government of the United States to take care of me and my family, because I know that they will pull the rug out from under us if they feel like it's something that will save them. I have that understanding, and so I operate in my life with that understanding. So I save money, I make money on the side, and I build up a little nest egg. So if something were to happen, I wouldn't be left out in the cold. Because I don't have unreal expectations of the United States. I expect the United States to be everything that they've shown me that they are. Yeah, I'm free this. Well, no, I'm not free this morning, bro. I actually got to go and set up for my daughter. She wanted me to come and set up some stuff this morning, but I mean, I'm available to talk and stuff like that. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, you say you've been busy with family. I feel you, man. Yeah, a lot of family come around, man. We had to go up to Jackson yesterday, and you know how it is when you get to your hometown and stuff, man. You trying to move around and see everybody, and if you're not there for at least a week, yeah, you're gonna be doing a lot of moving around. So I feel you on that, bro. But yeah, so I'm saying, man, we have these unreal expectations that we place on the United States government, and when the government fall through, oh, we're just so in shambles, man. But I understand the government for what it is, and I understand their probability of failure is very high because of the level of ignorance that they're operating in right now. And so when I have these discussions with people, I'm going to speak within the realm of possibility, not impossibility. And a lot of times people get mad at you when you bring up that point. And, so I try to find a way to do it to make them realize or at least consider the fact that you say you want to. Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, definitely. I'm down with that, man. I'm definitely down with that. Yeah, just I'll be checking with you when just let me know when you're going on, bro. I'm definitely down with that because that kind of ties into what I was saying, man. I deal with PTSD, and I base a lot of my expectations off of different things, man. And these are things that play into our PTSD. They play into just all different facets of our life. Morning, morning. All right, all right, all right. And so, if we don't take the time to understand that some things are just not going to work our way, then we're just going to be stuck in this cycle of frustration. I used to kick myself all the time because I'm expecting people to do the things the way that I would do it, or I'm expecting them to think the way that I think. And if they don't, oh, then we got a problem. But there's people out here who really don't understand that people have a mind of their own and often have thoughts of their own. And they get frustrated whenever that reality hits them, that everybody's not going to agree with what they're talking about or like what they're talking about. So instead of having that understanding and going into the conversation with that understanding, they go in with this idea that they're going to change everybody's mind, and their point is so great, the same way that they felt whenever they got whatever point they are trying to make. They feel like everybody else is going to respond that same way. And when people don't respond that same way, they can't figure it out. Well, it's because people have a mind of their own. It's just that simple. We have a mind of our own. We have the right to believe as we do. And anybody who speaks against it, well, they have a right to do that, but just know that you're not going to change my mind. Thank you. Just know that you're not going to change my mind on that. So, we get caught up in that, and it is what it is. So, I'm just trying to get people to understand that this world that we're living in. Okay, you said the next 20, 30 minutes? Bet. That'll work. That'll work. I'll be off here pretty soon. No, ma'am. You too. Excuse me. I was in the store getting my coffee for the morning. But yeah. All right, so I'm back. Excuse me, I had to go get my morning coffee. This is one thing that I do when I come down here every time. When I get up in the morning, I had an old buddy named Charles, and me and Charles get up every morning. We'll come get our coffee and, just sit down and talk, man. So Charles passed away a few years back. But every time I come down here, I keep me and his tradition going, and I get up early in the morning, and I walk down to the Double Quick, and I get me a cup of coffee for me and Charles, and just to honor that tradition that me and him used to have, man, because that was my buddy. And see, these are the real things that I'm talking about. These are the realistic type of things that we as people have to be able to understand, man. There's so many fabricated ideas out here in this world, and we get caught up in so much of this crazy stuff that just don't make any sense, and it's unrealistic to the point to where we don't know reality from falsehoods. And so then whenever we start to make these different judgments and start to make these different decisions, it's not being based on fact or logic, is being based on emotion. And emotion most of the time is going to allude to unrealistic expectations. And right now, with Miss Dunham, I mean, the truth of the matter is it's an unrealistic expectation for that woman to receive justice for her actions. Should it happen? Yes, it should. But realistically, I don't think anything's going to happen. They're not going to charge that woman and put her in prison to prove a point. To prove a point to who? The only time they try to prove a point to black and brown people is a point of, you do not run this country. We run this country. And so do you really believe that this country that is still predominantly ran by those white nationalist men are going to send a message to white people? Are you serious? That is not realistic. That is not realistic at all. And so I'm just saying that we should think in reality terms, and we shouldn't think in the terms of what should be or what could be. We always know what should be and what could be. We know right from wrong, just like they know right from wrong whenever they do the wrong that they do. Because they know that in reality, they are not going to receive the justice that they should receive, or they don't receive the consequences that they should receive. They understand this. They know this. This is a part of that entitlement that they have, is knowing and understanding that the people that run this country is on their side and will do everything to help them before they'll hurt them. That is the reality of it. And whenever we come to terms with the reality of the country that we live in, then we'll be able to move accordingly in this country. Because I don't think we'll ever be able to do away with the hatred. We'll never be able to do away with the racism. And we definitely will never be able to do away with the classism. So as long as these things are still striving within the United States, your expectations of fair treatment or equal treatment are not a realistic expectation. I understand that I'm not looked at the same. I understand that I'm not treated fairly when being considered for something against a person of the other skin tone. I understand that I have these obstacles in my way from the day that I was born. That's why my parents named me what they named me, because I had to go through this life understanding how they felt about my name, what type of uncomfort my name causes whenever I say it to those people. And it's funny because whenever people ask me my name, whenever white people ask me my name and I tell them my name is Kunta Kinte, it's almost like I cuss at them, That's the response that I get a lot of times. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And they like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's wow, that's all. They're flabbergasted because everything that coincides with that name, Kunta Kinte, the rebellion from slavery, the constant running to the point to where they had to cut his foot off to think that was gonna stop him, and it still didn't stop him. All of these things, rebelling against their evil, rebelling against all of the nasty things that they've done to our people. All of these things are encompassed within my name. They made him change his name from Kunta Kinte to Toby because they wanted to take the strength out of him. And the strength lied in his name, which went back to his heritage and reminded him who he was and gave him an identity. They wanted to take his identity. And so changing his name would destroy who he was. And so that name Kunta Kinte brings guilt, because it's a reminder of what, you know what? I just thought about it. My name is Critical Race Theory. To even say my name is Critical Race Theory, because it's a reminder of what they've done, and they want to erase it. They've always wanted to erase the truth. And that's what the whole Critical Race Theory ban is about, erasing the truth of their guilt. And so we have to understand these things when we're dealing with these people, and we'll understand that no matter what, the cards are going to be stacked against us, but we can still win the game. I've been winning my whole life in spite of what they do. My whole entire life. I ain't going to say it ain't been hard sometimes. I ain't going to say I ain't had my hardships. And I'll tell you that a lot of those things were self-inflicted wounds caused by me. But I do realize and recognize what hand they had to play in the opposition that was in front of me. And I realized what I had to do in order to overcome that opposition to become the successful person that I have today. That's because God gave me that wisdom. That's because I asked him, God, what do I need to do to be able to survive and make it in this world successfully, in spite of all of this opposition against me simply for my color? And God's grace and mercy brought me through, and he gave me the mindset to be able to navigate through this hateful, nasty country that we live in, to still be able to carve out a spot in life for me and my family. And so really, I ain't got no problem with these people. They can continue to do what they do, because what they do, it may affect some things, but it'll never stop my ability to survive, and it'll never stop my ability to provide. And so my expectations for this country and this world will always be based on their actions and what they've shown me, not on what I think should happen. Because when you start thinking like that, you've lost contact with reality. So I'm about to get off here, man. This is your boy D-Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.